Shanna's running it.
Mark was next. Mark was a whole different era. It was not an era with all the R's in it, but a different time period. Different. That was interesting because I got home, hitchhiked home from Thailand.
What do you mean hitchhiked home from Thailand? That's quite.
I did not go commercial. I did not pay for the ride from Thailand.
Yeah, we gotta get things going.
So like military stuff or like you?
Military, yeah. I was in the military. I was stationed in a place called Tak Lee, Thailand, which was like in the movies, all jungle.
Yeah.
A little tiny base in the middle of no place. With 1,000, give or take a little, all men except there were 2 women on the base, 2 nurses. Guys would deliberately go to sick call to look at them.
So they released you then and basically said find your way home? Or
no, that took a lot of effort. It was like a 5-month plan, and I became good friends with the first sergeant and other people in that administrative world. So yeah, we could probably let you go for 20 days. So they gave me a 20-day leave. So in 20 days I had to get from Thailand to New Hampshire and back. So I made a connection with Bangkok. Can't remember the base was there. Anyway, there was an Air Force base there, and I talked to the people in the freight area. Yeah, we got a plane going once a week. It goes to California and goes to across the country, that kind of stuff. So I got there. It was easy to get down, and we called down country, up country. Down country was you going to Bangkok. Got to Bangkok and got on the plane. It was like the same day. And got to Okinawa. And the guy would not add me to the manifest in Okinawa. He was just saying I was really mad. And I called somebody that I knew, Lichty, was there. And he went and got the supervisors and everybody apologized. And gee, we didn't know, and we were on the next plane. But that changed the dynamics of the ride. So I got to the West Coast, and I ended up in one of the Charleston, Carolina. And there was a flight going to Newport. I said, well, that's up in Rhode Island. That's close to New Hampshire. I can probably get home from there on a bus or something. But it turned out to be Newport News, which is way down in Virginia someplace. And I'm sitting there, dummy number 7, you know. The guy said, no, that's way down, you know, wherever, Maryland or something. So I went across the field, got a commercial ticket. So I did go commercial part way. I went commercial to New Hampshire or Boston, and then got over to New Hampshire. They lost my bag of suitcase, my big duffel bag. Gone. Nobody
on the commercial flight? So you do
all the rest of it was fine. But the
in
wizards in the civilian world, they were the same guys that are in Congress now. They're the same group. Dummies. Yeah. My brother Mickey found the bag in Long Island someplace at some central, I don't know how he did it, but he found it and they delivered it. Meanwhile, I get home, she had,
oh, you don't get to leave.
You're
in the story now.
Mark was born the next day.
You're in the story now.
Was that not good planning? Did Microsoft plan that good? The next day after I got home, he was born.
It's amazing.
It was. Pure intervention.
Yeah.
Was he on time?
Yeah, he waited
on
until
time
I
for
was
the
there.
circumstance.
As soon as I touched the stomach, he said, okay, I'm coming out. And then she was in the hospital, and the Red Cross came in at that time and said, hello, how you doing? And at the Portsmouth, the Naval Hospital up there, much better than the one in New York. And she says, you need more time than 20 days. I said, well, that's all I could get because you're in a war zone. Oh. Next thing I know, I got a telegram, you've been extended for 10 days.
Wow.
Nice.
So I flew commercial to the West Coast, and the guy would not put me on an airplane. I said, finally we got the bosses involved, and so I got to Hawaii. That was the first time I was in Hawaii. So that had to be 68, 69, 68. And it was the same problem we have today. They just couldn't handle the passengers, and I knew of a 707 type airplane that another command owned that was flying all the time back and forth to Thailand. It was called the Young Tiger or something, take everybody on kind of an R&R thing. And he said, they don't talk to us. I said, well, you're supposed to call them. You're the passenger terminal here. And, so we got into another gigantic argument. Finally, everybody agreed, and then the other side, the SAC people who had the airplane said, all they need to do is get them over here, and we'll process them.
Did you
But
say
we're not-
SAC?
Strategic Air Command, who own that airplane. See, there's a lot of, within the military, within the service, there's a tremendous amount of rivalry. And so somebody does it, even within, on the same, even at, like up at Pete Field, civil engineering doesn't talk to transportation, that kind of stuff. Same, it's unchanged, right to today. It's sad, but that's the way it went. So finally they agreed they'd supply the bus. They took 60-something people, and we all got on that 135.
So Mark is 30 days old. When did he get sick the first time?
I was gone, I don't know. And I was home, it was July, and I came home in December, January. That's when it, and I didn't really know up until then, because you're talking mail, a little sketchy, whatever, and so you don't feel or understand the intensity of the female's problem. You're a dumbass. You think it's just automatic, and they take care of everything, and all the kids, and all the bills, and you're out there thinking, geez, it's almost 7 o'clock, let's go have a beer.
Yeah.
And I got another letter. Oh, yeah, everything's okay.
Yeah.
You don't really know. Yeah. In fact, now that airplane we got to Guam, we almost didn't get off the ground. We're lapping water. It's heavy, and the old tanker before the upgrade was really hard to get off the ground. And they use a lot of power. Boeing had underpowered that engine. It was an old, J-57, didn't have the leading edge, had water injection, like the old cars, you pumped in water to give you added boost for, maybe you don't remember that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That
I
was,
do.
yeah, that's the way the airplane worked. It'd inject water or alcohol, or water and alcohol, to get a boost in the horsepower for takeoff.
Huh.
Yeah. And we flew from there back to Okinawa again, because they wouldn't leave it at Guam because there was no real good maintenance there. So we managed, or the Equity managed.
So when did Lori come in?
Yeah, how'd you get to Idaho?
What?
How did Lori, and we got all 4 of them, how'd you get to Idaho?
That was another story. That was interesting, yeah, because Don Schmidt was really the big influence behind us leaving Las Vegas for Idaho. By now, he's a temporary first sergeant, became friends with the IG on the base, Colonel Miles. And he said, go talk to him. Mark had a lot of problems there physically because of the weather. And they were opening up a new base or changing airplanes. So I reluctantly went up and talked to this colonel, and he said, so what do you want me to do? And I said, well, he said, you want to transfer, right? Based on humanitarian reasons. I said, yeah. He said, they won't give it to you. I said, I know. He said, we're going to do it anyway. So and before that, I had tried to swap with a guy. He got the assignment to go up there, and I tried to take his place. But special assignments, another civilian, a female this time, said, we can't do that. I said, he doesn't want to go. He's getting out in 7 months. He's going to retire. He's got a home here in Las Vegas. I want to go. Can't be done. I said, okay. So then I go to the colonel, and then we took a 30-day camping thing with a little camp with all the kids, and somewhere in there Lori was born. No, she was born after that. So I come back, and there's a stack of papers in the orderly room for me, and it said, request for transfer is disapproved. Right below it was my orders.
To go.
To go. Colonel Miles, and the guy that didn't want to go ended up working for me. He went, and they drug him every step of the way, and he was nervous as a cat because he had his 20 and he was a tech sergeant. and he was afraid he was going to make that mistake fixing an airplane. So I put him on night shift out of the way.
You said he has his 20. What does that mean?
20 years.
Okay.
He was ready to get out, but he had to serve X number of months because of this reassignment. It was a stupid money mistake. They should have never sent it. So once a week, twice a week, they call me up. He refuses to do something, it's too windy. You can't jack the airplane up, or he wants another specialist. So I'd go down there and talk to him, and I'll stay there and I'll help you. And that went on for months. I finally got him transferred into maintenance control. He couldn't touch him physically on an airplane, just did, back and forth on the radio, assigning people at work. And he finally went to Vegas. As soon as he was released, I gave him the last month off, actually. Yeah.
What about Lori? Where'd she come in?
Laurie went through the pregnancy stage, and we drove to Boise, 50-something miles away, and 2 o'clock or something in the morning, there she was.
Why was it not at the base?
I think I had an option, and I think we decided you would be safer in a hospital, a real.
That's not true.
That's how we did it. That's
What's
not
the
true.
truth?
I don't know.
There were no complications.
She didn't like the doctor.
I didn't like the doctor.
There you go. See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I was working
The
part-time.
doctor said to me,
My
I
mom
told
going
the
to
doctor
school.
that after this, having 5 children, I wanted to go, well, yes, after having 4, you're correct.
Thank you, Lori. Always good
And
math.
one of them was very ill. I didn't want to take the chance on going through another pregnancy and having another sick child.
Mm.
And that doctor said to me, what's the matter, don't you trust your husband?
Wow.
So I went straight to the commander's office and told him what he said.
Get him fired.
And he said, you may go any way you want.
Wow.
Cost us $11 or $7. Something was a big number. 2-digit number for the baby delivery. So we drove that.
That's insane.
We drove west
50 miles to go.
55 miles. We didn't stop for apple pie that night either. There was a place right near there that had great apple pie. We used to go there just for apple pie. 50
Did you
miles.
stop on the way back though?
I stayed there that night, I think.
At the apple pie place.
See, I don't remember those
Yeah.
women. They just happened. At that time, it just happened. It was, oh yeah, another kid. Yeah, another kid.
So were you wanting a
But
girl?
wasn't there something different about this kid that was born?
It was a girl. Were you wanting
Because you
a
were
girl?
so used to it's a
She
boy,
was
it's a
sassy
boy, it's a
right
boy.
from the beginning. That was different about
The
it.
moment that because there were no sonograms, there was no doctor to tell
Marion
you.
Wilson and Dave Wilson, who have since passed, she stopped by. They were on their way. They had become civilians. He retired. She stopped by and felt your mother's stomach and said, and had this little thing and said, it's going to be a girl. That's how we found out. No sonogram, none of that stuff. She had this, whatever she waved. I don't
What
know.
was it? Now I'm really curious.
I don't know. She had some
Like a
connection with
metal
somebody.
detector
She
or
knew.
something, or-
Remember Marion telling you it's a girl?
Yes, it was witchcraft.
I was gonna say, so you
It
had
was
some
witchcraft.
voodoo done?
But she was
You
from
were born
Alabama.
by
You have to
voodoo.
remember they did
She
things
put a
different.
ring on the string
There you go.
and twisted it and turned it, and whichever way it landed said it's either a boy or a girl.
Now, did she say a spell or anything, or was it just a?
No,
She
she
just told
just
us.
did it. She just
No,
did it.
just
Remember now, she's sitting up there listening to you. Don't be bad. She's a very religious lady.